I'm going to show you how to bind off. I've prepared this little swatch that has garter stitch, stockinette stitch, and rib stitch. So I'm going to show you how to bind off in all three. So garter stitch is actually not any different than stockinette stitch because it's going to be knit on the front just like the stockinette stitch. I'm having trouble grabbing my yarn. There we go. So to bind off, we knit the first stitch, knit the second stitch, pull the first stitch, the one that you knit first that's closer to you. Put your needle tip in there and pull, make it big, pull it way up high, and then you're going to pull it over the second stitch you made, the one that's closer to the tip, and drop it off the end. Now you've got one stitch left. We're going to do that again. So we knit the next stitch, bring the loop that's closer to you up and over the one that was closer to the tip, and drop it off. Knit a stitch, up and over. So those are my garter stitches, and here is stockinette. It's exactly the same thing. Knit, up, whoops, up and over. Knit, up, over, off. Knit, up, over, off. And keep going until we get to the rib stitches here in a minute. I'll show you the bound off stitches look like little V's. Okay. Knit, up and over and off. Okay. I'm to my rib stitches now. So I've got knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. This is a 1x1 rib. Knit stitch, I'm going to knit it, bind it off the same way, up, over, and off. The purl stitch, I'm going to purl it. Purl the stitch, and then we process it the same way. Up, over, off. We're back to a knit stitch. We knit it. Do exactly the same thing there. Purl stitch, we purl it. If a pattern tells you to bind off in pattern, that one needs to go up there. There we go. If a pattern tells you to bind off in pattern, this is what it means. If you come to a knit stitch, you knit it and then bind it off. If you come to a purl stitch, you purl it and then bind it off. Knit stitch, and our final stitch, we purl it over. We don't want that big loop there, and off. And now we've got a single stitch left on our right hand needle. We're going to just pull the needle out long and cut this stitch and pull the working yarn back out through.